So, I want to talk about kind of big emotions for a second. We've talked about the fact that it's okay to feel anything that you're feeling, and that you have a right to feel anything that you're feeling, and that the reality is you're not going to not feel, you're always going to feel. But being aware of those feelings, that's another thing. I have a really cool skill set that I got, and that is I can shove my feelings down like that. I can appear happy. I can appear connected. I've got it down. Like, I know how to do this. In this particular situation, I'm choosing not to stuff. I'm choosing to feel and to hear. It's kind of painful, right? I feel hurt. I feel misunderstood. I feel frustrated. All those are okay. I feel angry. That's coming up now. Last night I felt discouraged. I'm not feeling discouraged today. So let me go through this emotional scale so you kind of know where things are. All right. When you are feeling just awesome, you want to be awesome. You know, everybody else, you get to let them be awesome. You're comfortable in your own skin. You feel accepted and tolerated. You're not afraid of whether or not you're doing it right or wrong. That is a level 0. That, my friends, is the goal. To sit in a level 0 more often than any other level. That takes practice and skill set. It also takes training. All right, a level 1 is when you wake up and you're just kind of feeling off. Like, you don't know why. I mean, nobody said anything to you. There's not a big circumstance. You're just, kind of feeling off, right? That's a level 1. A level 2 is when you're feeling something, pop it down, man. Don't feel it. That's when you're feeling a little stressed, but you got to do a presentation anyway. You just kind of pop that stress down. It's when you're feeling hurt, but you got to be in front of the person that hurt you and you don't want them to know, so you pop it down. I'm fine. Okay, this is where we have been trained to get to, and to get to super fast. Okay, this is what it looks like. Have you ever heard anybody say, just walk it off? Like, you're fine. I don't know why you're making such a big deal out of this. You know, just let it go. It's eating you up inside. Just, get over it. What they're saying is, put those emotions down, bury them, don't examine them, don't feel them, and don't look at why. Just stop. It's a level 2. We're pretty well trained to do level 2. Guilt, shame, we can feel it. It's rumbling underneath the surface, but we can pop it down. It's a level 2. All right, a level 3 is when you start being able to name the emotions. That's when you can say, I'm really overwhelmed right now. That's when you can say, I'm stressed. That's when you say, I'm frustrated. Okay? That's when you can name it. That's a level 3. Now, the 1, 2, and 3, you still got the ability to think. You can think your way through what's going on. When you escalate to a 4, you stop thinking. That's when the head starts swirling, It's when the emotion has gotten to be big enough with its intensity that you, 2 things. 1, you start to kind of get reared up, and depending on how you handle emotions, if you are more explosive, things come up, and that's when you start arguing. That's when you start blaming, that kind of thing, right? If you're more implosive, what happens is that's when you get real quiet. That's when you withdraw. That's when you step away. I am the quiet one. I was taught that don't feel this. And if you do, and if you are not able to get a hold of that and shove that down quick enough, get to your room. Go away until you can handle this. I was a little girl. I didn't know what emotions were. I didn't know how to handle things. But I learned. Be silent. Don't say anything. Don't share. You'll make him feel bad. Don't let him know. That's a level 4. That's when the emotions are so much that you're going to discharge or you're going to disengage. One of those two. Discharging, it's when you start, telling everybody everything, or when you're like writing the text message that blah, it's really hot, you know, or when you retreat, you don't want to be around anybody, you just kind of pull back and choke the tears down, and they keep trying to come up. That's a level 4. All right, level 5. Level 5 is when you lose it. Level 5 for the imploder is silent treatment. Absolutely, you are not going to get anywhere near my heart. I'm not going to let you in. You don't have a right to it. I'm not going to work this out with you. I'm going to withdraw. Or I'm going to explode. I'm going to tell you all the reasons why you suck. I'm going to push that button on the text messages. I'm going to overeat to soothe my emotions. I'm going to stay on this dang video game for hours because I just plain don't want to feel. It's when you do things that later on you regret. So, I was a level 4, bordering on a 5 yesterday after a conversation I had. And I felt the retreat. Like, I got up. I even said, I'm feeling some sort of way. I'm triggered right now. I just got to get away. See, I have kind of an arrangement with myself, whether good, bad, right, or wrong, I don't know. And that is at a level 4. I just want to tap out. That's when I no longer have the conversation. That's when I got to figure out what the crap's going on. It's best that way, by the way, because what's happened is when there's enough emotion, the frontal lobe of the brain shuts down. That's where you think logically. That's when you can plan. That's where you can reason. And what happens at a level 4 or 5 is that shuts down. So all you are at that point is reactionary. Okay, your reactions are either freeze, fight, or flight. That's all you got. That's the limbic system. It's really important when you're actually in trouble to have those things shut down. Well, emotionally, I was unsafe. And so, shuts down. I do not have conversations when I'm at a level 4 or 5. Let me tell you what to do at a level 4 or 5. When you know that you are spinning, you're having obsessive conversations in your head. When you're upset and you can't get it shoved down, you know, what you do is you use your body. Your body is a gift. It can also be a weapon for this stuff, not at other people. Now, it's appropriate to use your body appropriately. There's a lot of things we can use our body for that's not going to help. Drugs, it's going to numb you down, but it's going to alter your ability to get back into your frontal lobe where you can reason. That's the biggest problem. Same with alcohol. You can numb out, it's true, but you're going to change what's going on in that frontal lobe, and reason is gone. So when the effects wear off, you're still at level 4, so you jump back to it. Sometimes you can get yourself down to a 2 or 3, and you call it good, because most of us sit and hover at a 2 or 3. We never quite get to a 0. So you can do that with your body. You can watch porn. I mean, your eyes, you can watch porn. It's not constructive. I have seen MRIs of people who have porn addictions, and all of the attention is off of there's no activity and logic and reason, and there is false satisfaction, and there's bonding. There's a chemical that bonds you to yourself. Well, that does not help with emotional loneliness, does it? Yeah. There's a lot of other things you can do with your body. Today, this walk, let's get the energy of all the crap out. I listen to music. That pulls me out. What you got to do is you got to shock your system. You got to do something to disengage from the thoughts long enough that when the thoughts come back in, you're at a place where you're still online and you can actually think your way through it and discuss with yourself or with somebody else what you want to do. So, like I said, I'm super, super good at shutting stuff down. I'm super good at it. I've decided to feel this. I'm pretty good I'm pretending like I'm not feeling, or I'm not aware of my feelings. I'm pretty good at disconnecting from my heart. It does not make me wholehearted. It does not help. It's not doing anything good for me. So, in this particular case, I have decided to allow myself to really feel sad. I'm sad. And to feel hurt. Like, what does hurt feel like in my body? I feel dismissed, not valued, unimportant. I feel shame. That shame was thrown at me a little bit. I feel blamed, definitely feel blamed. And I'm just going to sit in those emotions for a little bit and feel it long enough. I'm not going to get stuck. I'm not going to stay there because I don't want to. I want to have connection. I want to have some joy, right? You can't have joy if you don't feel what you're feeling. I'm at a level 4. I'm going to walk, and I'm going to walk, and I'm going to walk. I'm going to use this body, and I'm going to get into my body. I'm going to think of what does it feel like right now. We get really present. So my hands are cold. My arms are cold. I'm surprised that it doesn't feel uncomfortable because usually when I'm cold, that's a problem. But I'm getting older, so I'm warmer than usual. But yeah, it's 60 degrees, and usually a long sleeve shirt is what I would do at this point. But I didn't grab one. I'm actually not that uncomfortable. It actually kind of feels nice. The sun is beautiful. There's dew on the grass. Kind of looks like a, I don't know, frost almost, right, on the grass. It's not frozen, but it's definitely dewy. I love dew. See what I'm doing right now? I'm using my body to just disconnect just enough that I can come back in and I can look at what the anger is about and what I would love to do about that anger. It's going to go back into the hurt. And I'm going to decide what to do about the hurt. You know, it gets me in a place where I can journal, where I can really look at things and decide what I want. See, what's happening is that there are some old patterns that I was taught as a kid on how to deal with things. And I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to change. I'm trying to be more emotionally mature. I know how to feel my emotions. That how do I hold space for somebody else? I can hold space for you. I can hold space for those who are in my mentee classes. But I will tell you what happens, guys. People who are close to you, they trigger the crap out of you. What do you do when you're triggered? Like, I'm figuring that out. Like, what does emotionally healthy people do when they're triggered? Because I was taught to shut down and run. That's not healthy. So, as different things come up, I got to sit in them and go, wait a minute. Is this me? Is this the way I'm perceiving something? Is this something that somebody else is perceiving? And it would be good to help that. How do I help that without bulldozing? How do I not hijack somebody else's experience when they're telling me? Because I'm so ready to tell my own. You know? Emotional growth. Work. Inner work is work. That's what all the gurus say. It's worth it. So, you have the right to feel anything you feel. You know what else? That's what came to me as I was walking. That's what's awesome about walking. You can think. I get thinking because my body's moving. The other person had the right to feel every single thing they felt. Yep. Felt hurt, felt wrong, felt blamed. It's okay. It's okay for them to feel. When we become aware of what we feel and are able to claim it without shame or without running away, Now we can get to actual communication. And I'm excited about that. I'm kind of excited about resolution. I'm excited about growth. See, in my head, I could think, it's never going to change. This is always going to be how it is. Nothing's ever different. I can't change. They can't change. Hopelessness sets in. Discouragement sets in. You know what? I get to choose what I feel. I get to choose to sit in anger. I get to choose to sit in hurt today. I get to choose to sit in bewilderment a little bit, confusion about what happened. You know what? I'm choosing not to sit in, not discouragement. Nope, I'm not going to let that one creep in. I am not going to sit in hopelessness and helplessness. They're trying to creep in, and I get to choose what I feel in any given moment. You know why I'm not going to feel hopeless? Because I have a relationship with God. He helps me see the truth of all things. See, He has perspective. He has perspective on me. He has perspective on other people, other parties. He knows all about me. All the things, not only that I'm feeling in the moment, but all the things that have shaped me. All the training and the teaching and the false perceptions, all the really good stuff that I've already overcome. He knows all that. Guess what? He knows the same thing about anybody else that I'm in a relationship with. He knows it all. Mind is what we perceive. So to change our mind, it means to change your perception. Have you ever heard, worship God with all your might, mind, and strength? Yeah. What that means is giving your mind over to God, who has all knowledge and can help you through anything. So today, in my meditation, when I go to the temple, I'm going to sit with Him. I'm going to say, hey, I'm ready in this really safe space where I feel loved and cherished. I am ready to see. I'm ready to see perspective. I'm ready to see and feel what you feel. I'm ready to grow. Can you help me? Because of that, I don't need discouragement. That's why it's important to develop that relationship and find out how cool He is. Because He's really cool. And He really loves you. Now, really quickly before I end, I am a personal mentor. It's different than a coach. A personal mentor is a couple steps ahead of you. That's it. I'm in the work. I'm doing the stuff. It's not a program that I wrote that I'm going to have you go do the exercise and me sit still and not do it. It's not how I operate. I stay in the work. I stay in the growth. And I teach what I'm learning. You want to know how to handle your emotional spins? You want to know how to disengage so that you can be emotionally mature and try to handle it in a really good way? Do you want to give yourself grace when you totally screw up and you hurt somebody else? Do you want to know how to go, absolutely not, that is actually not what I feel? Do you want to have those boundaries? I invite you to come into my space. Joyful Heart Mastery is a 12-week program that I lead in mentorship, 8 to 10 people at a time. And we learn how to unpack stuff in a really healthy way. Like, we're not sitting and we're not just blabbing about all of our emotions all the time. We do share emotions, and we do give ourselves permission to be heard and to be seen. It's so cool. It's a community. I build communities of people who are becoming emotionally aware and then emotionally skilled at what they're doing. See, I didn't explode yesterday. I stayed in communication and put a boundary around myself while I was feeling it. I didn't spew hatred. I didn't spew blame. I stated what I needed. I stood in it and I stayed kind. Because I don't want to add to the stuff. I would love for you, and I'm talking to you, whoever is listening right now. You want more joy? You want to feel more fulfilled, more connected in your life? More emotional intimacy? You got to unpack some of the other stuff. Like I said, we don't go into major trauma We just learn what to do about it when we're there. I hope you have a great day. Check in with yourself throughout the day and say, what am I feeling right now? Is this what I would love to feel? If not, decide what you want to feel. I'm going to walk away from this park now. I'm going to leave all of these things right here. I'm going to go get connected. I'm going to go have fun. And I don't feel like I'm stuffing. I feel like I've got this. I'm going to sort through all the stuff a little bit later when I'm more clear-headed, but I'm going to get to a 2 or 3. And you know what? I'm going to be a 0. I'm going to get to a 0 today. And I'm actually pretty excited about it. Hope you all have a super great day today. Ciao.